Alright, so take time to get comfortable. Maybe grab a pillow and put it under your hips. And just start to notice your body. Notice the space around you. And just notice your breath and any thoughts that are coming in and out. Once you found a comfortable place to sit, just softly close your eyes or gaze down at the floor in front of you. Just notice how you're breathing today. Notice where the breath goes in your body. And notice any sounds around you, any smells. And just without judgment, watch them go in and out. They come and they go. And just be here as they move around you. And then turn your awareness to your breath. And before you take any deep breaths or try to change it, just notice. Notice if it's tight. Notice if your chest is tight, if your belly's tight. And without trying to change it, just make observations without judgment. And take a deep breath and bring the air in through your nose. You could put your hands on your belly. Just fill your belly. Taking a nice full 3-part Dirga breath. Filling your lungs, letting your lungs push your belly out. And if it helps, you can imagine a water balloon being filled up by the kitchen sink from the bottom to the top. And you can relax your face muscles and just let the air come out of your mouth. Try to bring your awareness, starting from the crown of your head down to your toes. Bring your awareness through your entire body. Vacating each little space, little by little. I apologize for the scratching. It's my lizard trying to escape, but my cat's in here, so I can't let him out. Maybe he'll calm down with us. So just bringing your awareness from the crown of your head down to your toes, vacating every little space in your body. And as you scan down, notice if anything feels tight, anything feels relaxed. And don't try to change it, but just observe. And if thoughts start to come and go, just try to bring your awareness back to your body. And if today focusing on your body is too difficult, just return to the breath and count it. And if you lose count, you can just return back at any time. Don't be hard on yourself. Just reach the crown of your head up a little more. Lengthening the spine. And grounding down through your hips, through your sits bones, or however you're sitting. And as you bring your awareness down to your feet and down to your hips, imagine roots growing down into the ground where you're sitting. And these roots that are growing allow you to stay present in the moment. And they're always there. You might forget about them and your mind might drift, but you can always return to them and remember them throughout today's practice and the rest of your day. And even later on, just remember that your roots are always growing. Now take 3 more Dirga breaths. You can place your hands on your belly again. Deeply fill your lungs. Allow your belly to relax, allow your face to relax, and your shoulders to melt down away from your ears. And on your next inhale, you can slowly flutter your eyes open, having a soft gaze at the ground below you. And just placing your hands on your knees or somewhere comfortably in front of you, just turn your head to the right. I'm not sure if my right mirrors your right or not, but just do what's comfortable. Bringing your head from side to side. Just start to wake up your neck, the base of your spine. The top of your spine, rather. Go at your own pace, moving along with your breath, whatever way is comfortable for you. You can move your arms along with this movement, getting a nice gentle twist in your spine. Allowing your digestive tract to start moving, detoxifying your body, giving it a nice squeeze. Bringing out any lactic acid in your muscles. And always returning to your breath. And again, if your mind starts to wander, that's okay. You can just return to counting the breath if all else fails. Now inhale, coming back to center, lifting the arms up and interlacing your fingers, turning your palms up. Drop your shoulders and just reach your crown up to the sky. You can arch back slightly by engaging the core. Just open up the chest. Getting a slight back bend, you can look up at the ceiling. Take about 2 more big belly breaths here. And then exhale, fold forward in front of you, letting go of any tension in your belly, in your back. And just let your head hang heavy here over your legs. And don't focus on deepening your stretch yet. Just allow the weight of your body to do what it needs to do. Loosen up your hips and your legs. And as we're in a forward fold, take a minute to set an intention for your day. It can be to focus more on the present moment, to focus on what you're grateful for, just maybe to drink more water, But whatever it is, just repeat it to yourself about 3 times in your head or out loud. Take one more deep breath. And send your intention down into your roots. And then inhale, bring your arms up over your head again. And then exhale, bring your right hand down to the floor next to you. Reach up with your spine, drop your shoulders, and lean over to your right side. But keep a nice length in your crown and open up your left side. So there's a nice line of power from your left hip to your left fingertips. Just take a minute to reflect on what that feels like. Maybe you're extra tight today. Maybe it feels great. And just breathe into that side. And then inhale, bring both hands back up to the ceiling. And then exhale, the left hand comes down and the right hand reaches up and leans over. Remembering to drop your shoulders away from your ears. And just breathe in to your right side. Taking a few deep belly breaths, Dierga breaths right now. And just notice your body, notice if it feels different taking them here while we're leaned over than it did when we were sitting up straight. And then inhale, bring both hands back up. And then exhale, bring your hands down behind you. And just open up the chest. So moving the shoulders, rolling the shoulder blades back, down your back, and then looking up. Breathing in and opening that chest. Pushing down with your hands into your mat or into the floor beneath you. And breathe. Being sure to push your shoulders away from your ears, reaching up with your chest. And if it's more comfortable for you, you can come up on your fingertips or do a little tripod with your hands to give you a little bit of extra length. Take a couple more deep breaths, opening up your chest, relaxing your neck. You can let your head hang gently. And slowly rolling the head back forward, lifting the arms up, inhaling them up overhead. And again, bringing the palms together, interlacing the fingers, and turning the palms up, relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. Take a deep breath and reach up, and exhale, bring the hands back down. Now placing your hands on your knees, following your own breath, roll your shoulders forward, just gently and softly, opening up the back. Just do what feels good for you. You can bring your shoulders forward, bring them back. Just experimenting with what feels good and tuning into your breath, making every movement mindful. Try not to put any pressure on yourself if your mind starts to wander. It happens and there's a lot going on. So just be soft on yourself, be easy. Now roll your shoulders forward. You can start to move your torso too. And on your next exhale, just relax your shoulders and come back to center. Take a moment and close your eyes again. Take a deep breath. And just notice what you're feeling in your body now that we've moved around a little bit. Take a moment to turn back to your intention that you set for the day. And if you haven't set one yet, if you're joining us now, just take a minute to set one. Take a nice deep breath. And then just sigh it out. Release any tension. Shake your hands. Shake your arms. Start to get more energy flowing through your body. And when you're ready, come into tabletop. And here you want to make sure that your wrists are under your elbows and your elbows are under your shoulders. And your knees are about hip distance apart. And just gaze between your legs, and if you can see your feet, move them out of the picture just slightly. And now we're going to take some hip circles. So using your breath, inhaling, coming forward with your hips, moving around to the right, exhaling, going back, and then inhaling forward again. So your hips are illustrating your breath here. You can go as slow or as fast as you like if you'd like to take a full breath. And inhale at the top and then exhale at the top. If that feels better for you, then feel free. As long as you're staying in tune with your movement and your breath, then it all should be great. And once you make it to the top of your circles again, just move to the other side. So inhaling at the top and exhaling as your hips swivel to the left, and then inhaling as they come to the right. And if anybody has any questions, I'll take a couple trips back up to the phone so I can read them. Opening up your hips here. And then on your next inhale, we're going to pause at the top and then exhale into child's pose. Just take a full deep breath here in child's pose. Bring your head down to the mat or to the floor. And just take a deep breath. I'm going to take a second to read what you guys have said. Awesome. So now inhale and bring yourself back up into a balanced tabletop. And then on the next inhale, we're going to lift our right leg up, just straight out, and you can point the heel away from you. So you're flexing the foot so the legs are engaged. And don't worry about getting your leg too high. Just do what's comfortable for you, and then try to equally balance your weight in the rest of your limbs. So on the next exhale, we're going to bring our right knee to our left elbow. Doing about 5 of these, just exhale. You can move nice and slow. Exhale when your leg goes back, and then inhale when the knee comes forward. It's nice and controlled and nice and balanced with your breath. And I lost count, so we're just going to do about 2 more. Inhaling when the leg goes back and exhaling when the knee comes forward. Now just bring the right knee back down to the mat and bring the left leg up. And balancing, flexing the heel. We're going to do the same thing. So on your next inhale, bring your knee to your right elbow. Nice and slow. Squeezing the air out when your knee comes forward and inhaling when it comes back. Building up some heat here. And about 2 more. Exhaling when the knee comes forward and inhaling when it comes back. Now get ready to tuck the toes under, so bring that knee back down to the mat. Bring your hands about a hand's length in front of where they are now on your mat and push down with your fingertips and push down with your toes. And then send the hips up for down dog. Don't worry if your heels don't reach the mat, mine don't. And have your elbows facing inward, placing equal pressure with your fingertips. And trying to drive your heels down towards the mat, and then bring your low abdomen towards your upper thigh, squeezing them together as your hips come up, your tailbone points up to the sky. And just drop your head and take a couple big, deep breaths. And then inhale the right leg up for 3-legged dog. And you can bend your knee here and just open your hips slightly, so play with what feels good. You can turn your hips open towards the right. Get a little stretch there. Breathe into your hips. And then on the next exhale, we're going to bring our right foot up to our hands for a nice low lunge. And you can drop your knee here. And then inhale the arms up. And just take a deep breath. Interlace the fingers and turn the palms up. Move from side to side just slightly, opening up the rib cage. And then exhale the arms back down, placing the left hand. You can tent your fingertips too if it's hard to reach on the mat on the inside of your right leg. And then inhale your right arm up towards the ceiling. And just take a full deep breath here. And then exhale, bring your hand back down to the mat and then the left arm comes up. And then exhale, bring it back down. Now we're going to pick our left knee up and then turn your heel down. So your back foot is at about a 90 to 40 degree angle. And then rooting down with your front foot, lift your torso up for warrior one. And if you need to adjust your footing, feel free to move your feet closer together, whatever works for you. Just as long as you can see your toes over your front knee. Take a deep breath here, and then exhale, move the hips out to the side, and the arms come down level with the floor, in front and behind you for warrior two. And reconnect with your breath here. And exhale, the right arm comes down to the right knee and the left arm comes up. And then use your inhale to pull your torso back up, and then your next exhale, the left hand comes back down the left leg, and the right arm comes up for dancing warrior. And on your next exhale, the arms come back down parallel, and straighten the front knee, but don't lock it. And kind of shift your feet so your front heel is lined up with the arch of your foot. Your back foot. And take a deep breath here. And then reach forward, pivoting with the hips. And then windmill the arms down, sending that left hip back for triangle. And reaching up with your left hand. And this feels really good for me right now, so we're gonna hang out for a few breaths. Hopefully it feels good for you too. So if you were up against a wall, you would be one flat plane along with the wall. So if you're kind of out at an angle, try to send your hips forward a little bit so you're in one straight plane. And take a moment here to reconnect with your intention. Just think about it, and think about your roots. And then exhale and let it go, and inhale, bring yourself back up to center. So now we're going to turn both of our feet forward. I'm not sure if you can fully see my feet right now, but facing forward, you have a wide-legged stance still, and then on the next exhale, we're going to bend our knees into goddess pose. So bending the knees, it's kind of like a wide-legged chair pose. The arms come up into goalpost and sink down. Taking a deep breath. On your exhale, sink down a little deeper. And one more deep breath. And then exhale, forward fold. So just allowing your upper body to just melt over your legs. Your hands might touch the floor, they might not, it doesn't matter. Just do what feels good for you here. You can bend the knees, you can move from side to side. You can hold opposite elbows and let your head hang heavy. Just do what feels good for you right now for the next 3 breaths or so. All right, now bending the knees and slowly bringing yourself back up into standing. And if you get dizzy at any point in time, just bring your head back down and take your time coming back up. And then inhale the arms up in either direction, so you're pulling at each corner of the room for 5 pointed stars, so dropping your shoulders away from your ears, lifting the crown of your head up and reaching out in all directions. And breathe here. And then exhale, drop your arms so they're about parallel again, and then shift your right foot forward. So we're in Warrior 2 once again. And then windmill the arms back down for that low lunge, having your hands meet the ground, and send that right foot back for plank pose. So hang out in plank for 2 breaths. Notice what your mind does when you're in this pose. It's challenging and we forget to breathe, but a lot of heat is being made. And then keeping your elbows in towards your body, slowly lower yourself back down for Cobra. And then inhale, bringing your body up, coming into tabletop, through tabletop, bringing your hips back down for Child's Pose. And now just take a silent 3 breaths. Just enjoy it. And then on your next inhale, use it to power you back up into tabletop. Taking the hands about a hand's length in front of where they were, and tuck the toes under, push down with the fingertips, and lift your hips up for downward dog. Driving the heels down towards the ground, pushing the elbows in towards one another and the fingertips down. And then inhale your left leg up. And again, you can take that hip stretch if you like, bending the knee. And just opening the hips, so turning the hips slightly towards the left side. And on your next exhale, bring that left leg up to meet your hands. And you can drop the back knee, untuck the toes, and then ground the right hand down and lift the right hand up towards the sky. Taking a nice big deep breath. And then exhale, the right hand comes down, or the left hand comes down, the right hand goes up. And then exhale, the right hand back down, tuck the back toe under, and lift up, placing the heel, pivoting it down so it's at about, the foot is about a 90 to 45 degree angle on the mat. And then anchoring in that front leg, and using that to bring your body up into Warrior One. Just take a deep breath here, checking your alignment, making sure that your knee isn't over your toes and you can still see your toes. And equally rooting in both feet. Thank you. And then exhale, turn your hips out towards the side and having your arms parallel with the floor. For Warrior Two. And then exhale, the left hand down and the right hand comes up. And on your next inhale, use that to bring you back up into Warrior Two. And then exhale into Dancing Warrior, bringing your right hand down your right leg and your left hand up. And again, checking your alignment here, making sure that your knee is bent, but not bent so far that it's over your toes. And then exhale, come back into Warrior Two. Straighten out that front knee, but don't lock it. And then make sure that your left heel is lined up with the arch of your right foot. And again, sending the hips back. We're just pivoting at the hips here. Reaching forward with that left hand and then windmilling the arms down. So you're in one flat plane. For triangle. And we'll hang out here for a few breaths. So just tune in with your breath. Notice where it goes. And then on your next inhale, come back up into Warrior Two. Straightening out that leg again and then turning your feet forward. So they're facing the long part of your mat, or whichever way you're facing, so they're facing forward. And then bending your knees and using goalpost arms for Goddess Pose. So again, that wide-legged squat. And take a deep breath here. And on the exhale, just sink a little bit deeper. Two more deep breaths. You're doing great. I can't see you, but I know you are. And then exhale, forward fold. And again, just taking a moment to reflect on that intention that you set at the beginning of practice today. And in addition to that, send yourself a little gratitude. You're moving your body. You're doing great things for it. Getting the blood moving, detoxifying your body, finding center. And it's free. It's great. Alright, now bend the knees slightly, and then you bring yourself back up into 5-pointed star. So reach the crown up. Again, if you get dizzy at all, just bring your head back down and slowly make your way back up. Reaching out. Take a full deep breath. And then pivot the feet forward and then slowly bring yourself back down. So your hands are joining that left foot. And then send the left foot back to meet the right. And in plank, just take a few deep breaths. Again, observing what your body's doing, observing what your mind is doing. And then keeping your arms in, slowly lower yourself back down to the mat. And inhale. Without using your arm strength, you can keep your arms close to your shoulders. Just inhale and see how far you can lift your upper body without straining. And exhale back down. And then inhale, bring yourself up into up dog. The feet are flat on the mat. Your legs are up off the mat. You're engaging your core and reaching your crown up towards the sky. Shoulders away from your ears. And release the legs down and shift your hips back down into child's pose. And again, connecting with the breath. Give yourself a moment of gratitude for doing this today. And then in your own time, you can grab some water now if you like, and then make your way onto your back. But not for Shavasana yet. Once you've made your way onto your back, bring your heels as close as you comfortably can to your hips as we transition into bridge. So your heels are hip distance apart. You might be able to touch them with your fingertips, you might not be able to. So just do what works for your body. And you want your back to be as comfortably on the ground as you can. Your hips are slightly tucked inward, so you don't have like a big arch on the mat. So you can just keep your arms flat on the mat here, and then when you're ready, push down with your shoulders and push down with your heels, and use your core and your glutes to lift your hips up off the mat. So your core and your glutes are equally engaged here, working to bring your hips up. And if you're comfortable here, stay here, and if you'd like a little extra stretch or a little extra challenge, you can interlace your fingers behind your back and walk your shoulders in towards one another. So this brings it into a little more of a heart opener, but remember to keep your core and your glutes engaged and your quads. And just breathe here. Starting to wind down. Two more big deep breaths. And if your shoulders were behind you, you can unlace your fingers and then slowly lower your hips back down to the mat. And hug your knees into your chest. And rock back and forth here. And do what feels good. You can take a happy baby if you'd like. So you can grab your feet, open up your hips a little if you feel like that's what you need. Or you can send your feet straight up. Just do what feels good. For about 2 more deep breaths. Now we're going to take a lying down eagle pose. So prepare like we're about to go into bridge, bringing your feet about hip distance apart on the mat. And then lifting your right leg, bring it over your left leg. And if this is where you, as far as you can go, this is fine. And if you can, or if you'd like to, you can tuck your right toes underneath behind your left leg. And then you take your arms up, and then you bring your right arm underneath your left arm and interlock your hands like this if it's comfortable. And if it's not, you can just hug your body like this. So taking a deep breath on your next inhale, we're going to bring our elbow to our knee. Engaging the core, taking a few deep breaths, so make it dynamic, keep breathing. Two more deep breaths. And then slowly unravel your arms and your legs. And just feel the echo of that core work. Take a couple deep breaths. And then when you're ready, we're going to move to the other side. So bring your left leg over your right leg. And if that's where your body's going, that's where your body's going. And if you'd like to slide your toes behind your right leg, then you can. Or your left leg. Rights and lefts get confused me in eagle. And then take your left hand and bring it underneath your right arm and interweave your hands like this. So your left arm is going underneath your right. And again, on your next inhale, we're going to bring our elbows to our knee. And again, breathing. Notice what your mind is doing in this pose. Two more deep breaths. And then slowly unravel your arms and your legs. And hug your knees into your chest and rock back and forth. Take a nice big deep breath and release all of that. And now hug your knees into your chest. And then drop your knees to your right side. So we're getting a nice twist here, and you can bring your arms out into a T. Gaze over to your left. And just take a couple deep breaths here. That will really start to unwind. You can close your eyes. Next inhale, hug your knees into your chest again. And just drop them onto the other side, over to your left. Arms come out into a T again and gaze over to your right. again, just slowing down your breath. Let the pose work for you. And then on your next exhale, hug your knees into your chest. And we're going to do a little bit of a figure 4 here. So bring the legs about straight. Bend the right knee and bring your ankle over your left quad. And then reach your hands and interlace them underneath your right ankle and behind your left foot, left leg. And if this is a little too much for you, you can bend your left leg and bring it down to the mat. And that stretch can be good enough for you today. And if you'd like to intensify it a little bit, you can play with hugging your left leg in closer to you. And just breathe. And then exhale, release your legs and switch to the other side. So the legs come up, bend your left, bring your left ankle over your right knee, and then interlace your fingers behind your right leg. And again, playing with that. It might be different on this side than it was on the other, so just take care of you. And then release both legs. So now take any inversion that you'd like before we move to Shavasana. So if you have a wall accessible to you, you can scooch up to a wall and put your legs up the wall. Or you can do candlestick or headstand or plow pose, or even just a bridge. Whatever works best for you. And we're gonna hang out for about 1 minute in whatever inversion you choose. So you can switch between two if you want to start out doing headstand and finish doing bridge, whatever works for your body today. I'm gonna take a little bit of a headstand just because they're fun. Just remember to connect with your breath as you're inverting. Then slowly come down and make your way onto your back or any restorative pose for Shavasana. You can roll up a blanket and put it underneath your knees. Just do whatever's comfortable for you. And take some water and just start to unwind. And once you're comfortable, you can just slowly close your eyes and start to soften any muscles in your face, or your arms, or your core. your legs. Take a deep breath and just sigh it out. Take a moment to tune into that intention that you set at the beginning of practice. Now imagine roots growing from your whole body and grounding you down. And as you do that, take one last deep breath. And see if there's any place in your body that you can release a little more tension. So maybe your shoulders are a little tight. Maybe lift your neck up and tuck your chin a little bit and just relax it back down to the mat. Maybe you're clenching your eyes. And just let it all go. You can let your jaw hang open, relax your jaw and your cheeks. And just allow yourself to be and to exist in this conscious awareness, conscious relaxation. And do a quick body scan, starting at the crown of your head. Notice any physical or emotional ways that your body is right now. It can be neutral, it can be positive or negative. And just observe, don't try to make any changes. But as we calm down, things start to seem more clear. So just notice. Scanning your whole body from head to toe. And bring your conscious awareness with you as you scan down. And once you reach your toes, just allow your mind to do whatever it wants to do. No pressure. And bring your attention back to the body. And focus on your breath. Maybe counting it. focus on any sounds that you hear. Bring your awareness to the space around you. And let those sounds just come and go. Focus on any smells. And the weight of your body on your mat or the floor or wherever you are. And when you're ready, and take your time, just slowly flutter your eyes open, maintaining a nice soft gaze wherever you're looking. And then roll onto one side and just linger there for a moment. Holding on to that calm awareness. And then slowly make your way back up to a seated position. Taking your time. And again, enjoying every minute of the space that you've created for yourself. We'll bring them out. And thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to come again. This will happen every Tuesday. No, Friday. What's today? Quarantine time. At noon. And please check out any other classes that Maja is having. And if you're interested in a one-on-one session, or I also do distance Reiki, you can find me on Facebook, Alex Sequin, and you can also find me on Instagram at alex.sequin. But again, please feel free to check out the rest of the schedule. We have a whole free series happening, anything from sound healing to yoga to Kundalini yoga and meditation. It's amazing. So take advantage of it, please, and tell your friends. And I'm happy to be here. And also, I'm Kind Yoga certified, my 200-hour, working on my 500-hour. With Kind Yoga as well. I should have mentioned that in the beginning, but now you know. So thank you again for coming. I hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to tell your friends and find me on Facebook or Instagram.